My name is Jenny Sjödin. I'm 30 years old and I currently live in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. And I was born in Sweden, but in a town called Västerås. It's like an hour and a half from Stockholm. I remember that I liked to draw a lot, and also like storytelling was an important part of my everyday life as a kid, because my mom, she always went with us to the library to take home like big piles of books every week, and she also encouraged me a lot to draw and do own like storytelling projects at home. So I really enjoyed all of that. I think I have a lot of my creativity thanks to my mom. She's really good at drawing and everything creative, even though that's not what she do for a living, but she's always been a big inspiration for me. I guess I've always wanted to work with illustrations, and particularly children's picture books, but I started as a graphic designer, and after graduating I was working as a graphic designer for 2 years, and then I decided that I really wanted to try to become an illustrator, so I started a course in a school in Stockholm called Berg's School of Communication. I did an illustration course there, and after doing that course I got like a big illustrator's portfolio that I could use to apply for an MA in illustration in the UK, and I guess that was kind of the start for me as an illustrator, and also that was the start of me entering the world of picture books, because then I focused on picture books in my MA. This one, the Dancing with the Northern Star, with the Nordic Lights, I started this on the MA, so this was one of the first picture books I started to write, and the inspiration came from my own experience of losing a parent as a kid. So it's about grief and the process of grief, but it's handling grief in a positive way. It's a lot about finding hope, and it's based around this saying that they have up north in Sweden, that the Northern Lights is made out of souls that are dancing, and I find that a really beautiful idea, because when I was a kid I remember that I was always thinking about wondering if my dad, where he went, like the concept of death was not very clear to me, so I imagined him being in the forest or being somewhere where he liked to be, and I guess the whole idea of picturing him being somewhere where he was happy and where I could see him again one day, that really gave me hope. So this book is a lot about that in a positive way, with the polar bear being a friend to the girl, supporting her, and also it's a lot about most days she still wants to play and have fun, but it's also okay to some days be sad, and finding that hope in the process. I guess it depends. Like with this picture book, I had some problems with the whole like getting the concept together, but sometimes it's always good to get feedback from other people, but sometimes it's also good to let things rest for a while. So I remember I've been working with this book for a really long time. I wrote it first, and then I struggled a bit with how to solve the whole thing of it being centered around grief without being too sad or heavy. I still wanted it to be filled with hope, so I didn't work with it then for a while, for maybe 6 months almost, and then looking at it again you get like a fresh view of it, which sometimes help you solve problems that you couldn't see before. So for me that was really helpful. Now with a daughter, I have a daughter who's a year and a half, so a lot of my free time is spending time with her, like in the playground or walking in the forest, Doing that sort of things is what I enjoy the most at the moment. She's my biggest inspiration, of course, for picture books and everything, but just playing with her in the nature is amazing. Since I studied in the UK, a lot of the illustrators and authors in UK was a big part of my inspiration, especially in the beginning. So a lot of them, like Oliver Jeffers, John Classen, was the biggest inspirations for me in the beginning. Now I do read a lot of Swedish picture books, so there's some Swedish artists that I admire, like Emma Adbåge is a favorite of mine. But in general, it's just so many good things out there, and it's inspiration could come from anywhere, I guess, from music and arts as well, and movies, everything. Yeah, hi Korean visitors! I'm so happy to be part of this show. I really hope you enjoy it. Bye! On that style. Whoop, the books are full. So then, and it's mixed with all the other, but here's like the first thumbnails of the book, so you can you can see that some of the spreads are the same, like the ones where they play are the same as in the original sketch, and the same with the one with the kitchen table, and the final spread is also the same as in my first thumbnails.
Wow. Is this your diary? What is
yes,
this?
This is the working diary from the MA.
Wow.
So here's I've written about the process, what I was struggling with, and my thoughts around the thumbnails and the story, and then there will be, here's the different, like, I tried all different fonts for the cover, and
wow.
Then it's some of the first. This is the first spread I did the illustration of, which is similar to the one that's in the printed book now as well. So at first I had this idea that the dad was a fisherman, so we had these details with a yellow coat and stuff, but then we removed it to simplify it a bit. So there's all this different, and you can also see here from the start that this was my first sketches of Elsie and the polar bears cuddling. So at first here's the first gouache drawing, and here's one that was just digital. Also I tried that, and then I tried this mix with the gouache and the digital that I preferred. So then I kept working with this style instead of these. So a lot of the process is in this this journal, so it's really fun actually to go through it and see what's in there.